to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Kalonzo Musyoka profile is rising in the Luo nation, and the historic visit in Bondo has sent some panic in William Ruto's camp. In this podcast, I'm going to reveal to you why Kalonzo entry in the Raila's support base rattles President Ruto, who is very uncomfortable. And kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos. And thank you very much for supporting our podcast. And I promise you this is going to be not a longer video. When Kalonzo visited Opoda farm in Bondo, Orengo said something and repeated that Kalonzo has supported Raila 3 times. And in this video, I want you to listen to the response from Sam Atandi, who is the member of parliament of Alego Usonga, who was quick to trash Orengo.
Kwa Wakenya wengi ilionekana kama ishara ya umoja na mwendelezo katika siasa za upinzani. Lakini siku chache tu baadaye, ziara hiyo imezua gumzo katika eneo zima la Luo Nyanza. Gavana wa Siaya James Orengo alikuwa miongoni mwa viongozi wa kwanza kuzungumzia jambo hilo, akisema wakati umewasili kwa jamii ya Luo kusimama na Kalonzo jinsi alivyokuwa tu akisimama na Raila Odinga.
3 times. 3 times. Kalonzo has said na kuachia wewe ndugu yangu Raila. In 2013, in 2017, and in 2022 where he said, I don't even need a position. If there's a principled man in Kenya, like Raila Odinga, is Kalonzo Musyoka.
Lakini baadhi ya wabunge wa Siaya walitofautiana na msimamo huo, wakiwatuhumu baadhi ya viongozi kuwa wepesi kumpendekeza Kalonzo, wakisema uaminifu kwa chama cha ODM haupimwi na urafiki binafsi.
Our community has had politicians who have been around since Jaramogi. They were with Jaramogi when Jaramogi was alive. They were trying to help Jaramogi to become president, they failed. Then Raila Odinga adopted them. They tried to help Raila Odinga to become president, they also failed. Now that Raila Odinga has moved on, they still want to give us direction. I want to tell those politicians that your time is up. Your time is up. You will not give us direction now. Now we have a team of young, competent leaders.
Hayati.
You might want to hate, you might actually want to hate. I don't know what is Atandi's problem in here. I don't know whether he has a problem with Kalonzo or he has a problem with Orengo. I don't know. But it's clearly, he's saying that Orengo alikuwa na Jaramogi and supported Jaramogi. Jaramogi never became president. Orengo supported Raila. Raila never became president. So according to him, Orengo should not give direction to the community. In fact, I don't know why for the 2-term battalion, for the broad-based battalion who was supporting the president, when they are saying 2-term, they feel it is the right thing. But when someone gives another opinion, they say that person is misleading the community. You know, there is no one misleading the community. Everyone is just giving his opinion. That is what we should understand. We are in a democracy. And for the Luo nation, we have an open check. Those who are saying 2-term, they're entitled to say 2-term, to say broad-based, because they understand. You know, there is broad-based and there is 2-term. Those who are saying what Raila said are saying, Raila said we remain broad-based, but Raila said never said 2-term. But those who are also saying that, look, guys, look here, Kalonzo has also supported Raila 3 times. So Kalonzo is our friend. Opiwanda, Arati's, not Arati, the Lego Songa MP Atandi is not just being truthful with the truth. I don't know. Maybe we'll head to the cabinet at some point or so. But we'll show you how immediately someone appears to be supporting Kalonzo, that person rattles William Ruto state. And Atandi is part of the Ruto team because he said it. That for him, since Raila died, he converted his political allegiance, loyalty to William Ruto. And I've actually realized that a clique of Raila supporters who are being charged to attack Kalonzo, they actually lack one thing they can use to attack Kalonzo. You know, and if there is something that will be a big backlash that will actually divide, let me not talk about ODM, let me talk about the Luo nation. If there is a fact that will sharply divide the Luo of the nation, is an attempt to attack Kalonzo. Because, truth be said, you know, the whole country is watching. I always say, some few things we say and we look at things casually. The whole country is watching. Who doesn't know that Kalonzo gave it all for late Raila Odinga? Where will you go in this country and tell people that Kalonzo is nobody to Raila? Where will you get that audacity? Can you sit one-on-one, be in a panel and explain why you think that Kalonzo is a nobody on Raila Odinga's political journey? You cannot rub it off. You cannot rub it off. William Ruto comes in the last chapter. I always say William Ruto comes in the last chapter when we are talking about state funeral. And I don't know whether, and we still insist, that while he okayed it, but he okayed it for a man who deserved it. And just to tell you that, Mambo Nimbaya, Aaron Cheriot is struggling to look for something to disadvantage Kalonzo and has to run a 207 flashback.
There are people who are trying to confuse people here. They are now trying to tell us how they sacrifice for Raila. I want to tell them, speaking from Kenya, there is a difference. You did not sacrifice for Raila. Raila sacrificed for you. Kama wewe una insist kukuwa running mate na ukipatiwa unashindwa kuleta kura ya kutosha mpaka ipitishe baba, ni wewe umesaidia baba ama baba amekusaidia? Si nyinyi mnajua 2007 sisi tulikuwa, mimi the first voter I ever voted from councillor to president was for the party of ODM. Kwa hivyo mtu asituambie as if they are more ODM than us. We are also founder members of ODM. ODM is a movement. We are part and parcel of this party also. So mtu asikae akisema ati yo sijui nani. Baba akituacha na Mwenyezi Mungu aweke roho lake mahali pema. Wakati mzee ametuacha mkiwa kwa chama cha ODM na amewaacha kama jamii, kama mumeungana, kama mnaongea sauti moja ndani ya chama cha ODM. Musikubali wale wanataka kuleta migawanyiko. Musikubali watu walete migawanyiko wakati marehemu baba wetu amepumzika. Ile heshima baba alituonyesha, akatuonyesha kufanya kazi na huyu Randere na Opio na William Ruto. Watu wa Ugunja tutakaa hapo. Kwa hivyo mimi naomba kwa heshima sana, mumeamua mtatokea wakati wa uchaguzi mdogo ili tuonyeshe wale watu wa ukabila
on how, you know, Kalonzo, on how they helped, on how William Ruto backed Raila and Raila got prime minister. You know, there is a line that has been said for long, and our children and grandchildren will be fed this lie if us we don't correct it. It is not true that William Ruto made Raila Prime Minister. Actually, the contrary is the truth. And what is the contrary? Charity Ngilu is on record saying that William Ruto, who was part of that Pentagon, did not want the handshake that was negotiated with Kofi Annan. He did not want that deal with Mwai Kibaki. And my thinking would be, probably he wanted to become president in 2012. So when you hear people like Cheriot saying, Tapadudu became, okay, fine, he supported Dudu to become, to win that election, because it was President Raila to win that election by that time because of that handshake. But it comes to the question of the prime minister and what Raila got. Actually, it was because of something that was negotiated, and William Ruto never supported it. Uda is camping with Luo Nyanza with all sorts of propaganda and narratives to try to create a close link between Raila Odinga and William Ruto. But truth be said, listen to this.
Mimi sitaki mfanye makosa. Tunaelewana? Mimi nilisupport huyu mtu wa kitendawili 2007. Nikakuta mtu ni mtu empty, hana mpango. Kazi yake tu ni TV, mtialala, ria, uganga, nini. Acha na hiyo story my friend, please. Nawaomba. Watu wa Olkalao tumekubaliana. Na huyo mtu ya kitendawili alitoroka debate. Na nilikuwa nimempangia. Kama huyo mtu angekuja. Nilikuwa nimempangia mbaya sana. Huyo mtu kama angekuja ya president angetoka hapo akienda hospitali. Nilikuwa nimempangia mbaya sana. Kwa sababu unajua ametusumbua miaka nyingi. Ama ni kweli? Si nilikuwa nataka nimuulize kwanza, wewe mtu ya kitendawili, wacha kutudanganya ati utapigana na ufisadi. Wale wafisadi wakubwa wanakujanga hapa hili. Watu wameiba pesa everywhere. Wanaenda hapa hili kwa ofisi yake, wanapelekwa kwa laundry, yeye anachukua pesa, wale wameiba pesa ya wananchi ati wanakuwa wasafi. Wameiba pesa ya KEMSA bilioni 17. Bwana kitendawili na marafiki zake, washirika wake na watu wa familia yake. Alafu wakatuambia ati watapeleka wale waliiba pesa ya KEMSA ati kotini in 21 days. Sasa ni miaka mitatu, hakuna mtu amepelekwa kotini hata mmoja, kwa sababu walikuwa watu yao, familia zao na warafiki zao. Mimi nataka niwaulize watu wa Nyandarua, mtu ambaye anaweza kuiba pesa ya wagonjwa pale kwa COVID anaweza kupigana na ufisadi Kenya hii?
Go to the internet. Internet never lies. And get me the video, one video of Kalonzo Musyoka attacking Raila in such a manner. If you don't get it, you will not get it. Why? Because you will tell me that they never crossed paths. Even by the time Kalonzo was vying 207 year kupita katikati, he was not combative. And naturally, he's not a combative politician. Now that will actually tell you, we understand that it was against the state intent for Kalonzo even to visit Bondo. And that is why even at Raila's funeral, he was pushed at the periphery. But the reception that was there, and what Odinga family, the signal that came from Odinga family, actually found the state footed. If I want to tell you mambo ni ngumu, there is this guy called Sako Jr. He's a blogger for state. He was trying to explain positions that have been given to Luo Nation that should make the Luo Nation vote for Ruto. And I want you to look at this list, because he brought some names here. I'm just wondering, even if you're looking for people will start naming lecturers, Luo doctors, and start saying Luo lawyers and Luo judges, and start saying, this is why you need to vote for Ruto. Look at this. Ambassador Fred Outa, Kenya's ambassador to Egypt. Ambassador Maurice Odhiambo Makolo, Kenya's ambassador to London, UK. Commissioner Francis Odhiambo Aduol, IBC. So, Luo should vote for Ruto because Ruto appointed a Luo in IBC. Wajua kwani sisi ni wajinga aina gani? Surely. Even these people, even when you guys are running this propaganda, what kind of thing is this? IBC is a competitive where it's some merit. It's not like it's president's appointment. There was a panel. Unless the fellow here is telling us that the selection panel was William Ruto. So wanasema votini Ruto because muko kwa IBC. Look at Mr. Alfred Kombodo, Deputy Head of Mission Brussels, Belgium. This one was even a principal secretary in Kenya. Mrs. Grace Atieno Kara, Permanent Representative, UN Habitat. Look, just wait. Don't you think these positions, apart from what we can say, what you want to amplify the president's hand, don't you think they are based on merit? Okay? And I know, tell me, even if it is merit, so many people qualified. Yes. But the fact that so many other people qualified, does that negate the fact that Grace also qualified? Mrs. Akinyi Walkoa, Head of Deputy Mission, Los Angeles, US. Philip Omondi Thigo, Special Envoy on Technology. Honorable Sylvan Sosele, Director of Government Delivery Unit. Major General Paul Otieno, Commander of Kenya Navy. Tumepewa Major General to vote. Ay, jamani. Some of these people are even belittling the community. It's like, sasa Major General na tulikuwa na CDF na akakufa. However, there is something Kalonzo needs to get with regard. Yes, it is very important and it's very critical for him to get Rigathi. And I'm seeing those who are trying to look for some dirt on Rigathi. They're not getting any dirt on Rigathi. Now they've started asking Rigathi, not Rigathi, Kalonzo. They've not got any dirt on Kalonzo. Now telling Kalonzo, the only thing making you bad is Rigathi Gachagua. So you need to leave Rigathi Gachagua to support you. I will want to ask, if Kalonzo is to leave Rigathi today, even if Luo votes for him to the last man, will he become the president? Will he become the president? People may not agree with me on this, but let me tell you this. If Raila Odinga was alive and there was an opportunity to work with Rigathi Gachagua, Raila Odinga would have worked with Rigathi Gachagua. Maybe you need to forgive me because I'm speaking on behalf of a man who is not there. But the politics, I'm talking about this in the context, in the texture of our politics. The texture of our politics is not based on those emotions that you harbor. Yes. It's not based on those emotions. What would, if Raila wants to support Kalonzo, if the late Raila was there and he was to support Kalonzo and Rigathi is supporting Kalonzo, do you think Rigathi will stop him from supporting Kalonzo? No, he will support Kalonzo. There were reports that Jubilee also gave some funds. Now, one thing I wanted to say is this. There are people in Mount Kenya that are building a mountain from a very small hill. There's this discussion of is it Uhuru or Rigathi away to Mount Kenya? And I was disappointed because I'm seeing people who are elderly, people who are prominent, people who have the experience that should use sobriety wisdom, and calmness in our political temperatures are the ones that are trying to say they are trying to create a wedge between Rigathi and Uhuru. What is that wedge for?
Bwana Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Your Excellency, Chairman wa DAP Kenya, Bwana waziri wetu, party leader wa hiyo chama, sisi watu wa Kenya, wa Central, utaratibu yetu ni moja. Tulikuwa na Mwai Kibaki kama kingpin wa Central, ni kweli? Akaenda nyumbani. Tukawachwa na Uhuru Kenyatta kama kingpin wa Central, na yeye ameenda nyumbani, na kubali ameenda nyumbani na hatuna vita naye. Saa hii kingpin, na ninataka kukushukuru nyinyi Kalonzo Musyoka na wale wengine, kwa sababu mmejua funguo ya Central. Kama ukuji kwa murango ya Rigi G, wewe iko katika siasa, hauko kwa siasa ya Central. Na ninaelewa na nimekuona Bwana Stephen Kalonzo, tumefanya na wewe nikiwa kwa Kibaki, ukiwa makamu wa rais, na ulitusaidia sana. Na vile munachikana na ndugu yetu na kazi ile munaendelea kufanya, sisi tunataka ufuate hapo. Nyinyi muunge serikali, tuondoe hii mtu ambaye ameleta shida kwa kila mtu Kenya hii, kwa kuua watoto wetu, kwa kunyanyasa watoto yetu. Hata MCA ungetueleza jameni.
This is Maina Commander. I'm wondering what is the essence of that wedge, because when Uhuru Kenyatta spoke, Uhuru Kenyatta even ordered his troops not to attack Rigathi. And even if Rigathi wants to make DCP party be big, the conflict with Uhuru Kenyatta works against his one-term clarion call. If the clarion call comes more selfish, you appear more selfish if you feel that if it is not through me, then no one should get to Mount Kenya. And from my thinking, I don't think Uhuru Kenyatta is fighting for who's to be the Mount Kenya kingpin. So these people who are waging a war between Uhuru and Rigathi, they are doing a disservice to that opposition. Kalonzo entry annoys Ruto because him emerging as a top contender, he might be the compromise candidate for the opposition. What will be the ideal situation that the deep state would want? They would want that opposition to crumble. Kila mtu take direction yake. But, you know, I've seen and I'm talking to people saying, Kalonzo is not combative. Tashinda Kalonzo in the morning, and Ruto has been making that. Now he's going to Ukambani. I'm going to follow the Ukambani trip and find out whether he's going to repeat all those statements about I'm going to chew Kalonzo in the morning. That might be, you know, take for example Kibaki. Kibaki was not the combative. Kibaki was the Kalonzo type. Kibaki won. Kenyans have a soft spot, not really for the... Raila was combative. Yes, he won 2007, but ever since. System is very allergic to the combative people, but they welcome them. Do you think Kalonzo can jail Ruto? No. Matengi can. Kalonzo cannot. The splitted Nyanza vote, Ruto is annoyed because a splitted Nyanza vote will clearly swing on Kalonzo Musyoka. The guys singing two-term are unpopular. And they're mostly people who are in government, and government has not done much. Babu Owino is in the lips of so many young people, and Babu Owino is supporting Kalonzo. No, if the Luo Nation to split, I can promise you the majority will go with Steve, including me. Kalonzo has most selling point to the voters. If we're looking for, basing on what Raila would have done if Raila is alive, Kalonzo ticks the boxes. And I think the Nairobi vote is also becoming more complicated with Wiper Party. If he gathers the ODM, the Raila support base, then he will really be a voice to reckon with, even in Nairobi politics. Thank you.